Thanks very much for being with us. Soumya Kanti, the RBI had come up with, revised numbers as far as the interest rate was concerned. But I think what was interesting was in their statements, they actually said that things were not auguring well at all. And now we've got these inflation numbers. What is your prognosis going forward for, let us say, the next 4 months?
Yeah, thank you, Vishnu, for having me on the show. No, I think we are also expecting a bad inflation number this month. In fact, our projections are around 7.7%. So it has come a tad higher than that. So this is the one aspect. The second thing is that next couple of months, inflation prints will actually not be good for all of us. This should be mostly over 7%. And only after September, you could see some meaningful decline in inflation trajectory. But even then, the inflation numbers could stay above 6%, 6.5% to be more precise.
No, this is important, Soumya Kanti. As the chief economist at SBI, what you are saying is that up till the month of September, we are going to be between 6 and 7%, mostly 7%, and then it will come down to 6% by September. So that's still above what the RBI considers a safe inflation limit, which is 6%, right?
No, I'll just clarify a little bit. Till September, the inflation prints could be in excess of 7%.
Right.
So, and only after September, you could see the inflation prints declining below 7%, but it could be still above 6.5%. The last 2 months of this fiscal, basically February, March, could see that the inflation cooling down to below 6.5% levels. This is assuming that, the war does not get even prolonged from the current levels. So the inflation, overall average inflation rate this year could be well in excess of 6%. Our projections are at 6.5%. Possibly the RBI projections, which will be revised in the June policy. Yep. But as of now, we'll see some action from the Reserve Bank of India in the forthcoming policies.
No, so that's another important point. Do you expect another interest rate hike to deal with this uncertainty and the inflation?
Yes, maybe 2 more rate hikes in the month of June and August, which takes the rate level to the pre-pandemic level, when it was at 5.15%. And then the Reserve Bank of India takes a call of how to navigate this difficult scenario. Don't expect that the interest rates to decline from the current levels, at least till the inflation numbers look a tad better.
I just want to read what the outlook that the Reserve Bank of India projected a few days back when they said, global commodity price dynamics are driving the path of food inflation in India, including prices of inflation-sensitive items that are impacted by global shortages due to output losses and export restrictions by key producing countries. Do you expect this situation to ease by September? Because many would suggest that the war in Ukraine, which is a driver certainly of inflated fuel and food costs, that's not going to end by September. It might go on indefinitely for a while. So, is this uncertainty likely to last for an indefinite period of time now?
No, see, the one point, Vishnu, is that possibly we can expect a favorable end to the war by the month of September. So if the war ends, then possibly the continued increases in prices may be capped. Mm-hmm. But of course, there will be an element of uncertainty going forward, because we are seeing inflation in items like cereals, for example, where we have seen no inflation in the last couple of years. Then protein items are also seeing a significant increase. And all this is happening is because the global food inflation has been non-boiled. And India cannot be an immune or exception to this. Edible oil is another item. So if I take all these factors into account, even though these factors may not constitute a significant proportion in the overall CPI basket, but their contribution in terms of weighted contribution means, significant increases is actually putting a premium on the CPI numbers. So my sense is that food inflation this year is actually playing the spoil sport in CPI rather than the fuel inflation, which was supposed to be.
All right. Thanks very much, Soumya Kanti Ghosh, for joining us, sharing that SBI perspective on what is looming ahead. It's not very good for the next several months. Let's hope that war does come to an end, and let's hope the overall system stabilizes. Thanks very much for joining us.